So we're going to talk about things we wish we knew about UCLA, starting with food, dining halls, meal plans, etc. That was the first video that we did together, which I will show right here. What do you want to talk about with dining halls? What do you wish you knew?
Pretty much everyone knows that like UCLA is like known for like really good dining food, like generally, I guess. One thing probably that I would like consider is there are like 3 different meal plans.
I can't remember. I think it's 19, 14, 11.
And there's R or P, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yes.
So like depending on like how often you plan to eat out or like just how often you eat or whatever, like 11, it's like per week. So 11 swipes per week, or 14 or 19. For R, I think it's like you can only swipe like once per meal period.
Yes.
They have different designated meal periods. For P, it's kind of like you're more flexible. It does like cost more obviously, but you can like swipe however many times you want in a day, kind of.
I did 19R my first year, and then the next year I switched over to 14P because I like the flexibility even though I don't get as many meals.
And I think I went from like 14P to 11P, I think, because I was like eating out a little more.
Yeah.
And sometimes just like saving the stuff and stuff. Yeah, so we have, how many different like dining halls? We have like several different ones that are like sit-in dining halls, like Epicuria.
Now this dining hall has an Italian vibe to it. It always serves pizza and pasta, and I absolutely love the atmosphere of this place.
Deneuve.
Now I told you about B-Plate being the healthiest dining hall on campus. Contrasting from that, we have Deneuve. Although Deneuve does serve some healthy food options, but it does get quite greasy every now and then. No offense. Unlike Epicuria though, Deneuve does serve breakfast and has some delicious tater tots.
What's the other one? I can't remember.
B-Plate.
Oh, I repressed that.
For B-Plate, aka the healthiest dining hall on campus. I mean, it was literally born on top of a gym, so I don't think you can get any healthier than that. Fun fact, you might encounter a faction of people called B-Plate haters, and Amy is definitely one of them.
Feast is like a takeout, right?
Pork, and just a mix of everything. They just put on it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it used to be a dining hall, but then when COVID happened, they kind of decreased it into a takeout place. I don't know what it is like right now, so can't really speak on that as much.
But there's also like other ones that are like
The study is
like takeout, but you can kind of sit, right?
Yeah,
it's not like a tray thing. It's like to go though.
Yeah,
study.
to go.
We like the study a lot.
Alright, so we're here at the study with Amy. Amy, what did you get?
It's a Belgian waffle with chocolate and fruit, and then a banana, and then a Sprite.
Nice. So I just got an Earl Grey tea latte because I already ate in my dorm. I ate an oatmeal, and I got a banana that I'm gonna bring back to my dorm.
Yes, especially since it was right next to Hedrick Summit, so you like, walked down there a lot. And I think from last year they actually did takeout option, but on your phone, so you don't have to line up. You just order online.
That's nice.
But yeah, during our day we had to stand in 1 hour lines, which kind of sucked. So
Bruin Bowl is another one, I think.
Oh,
like the Reber West East. Oh god.
Oh no,
we're so old. Oh my god, what is it called?
I
I think it's called like Reber something. Reber Asian. Like one was for like Asian food and one was for like Mexican food
but
or
it's
something.
not even like legit Asian food. It's like Panda Express.
Yeah. Which we actually have on our campus if you're interested in Panda Express.
Yes.
But yeah, lots of food options. Lines do tend to get long at like certain hours. So if you're trying to like beat the rush, like it might be like better to go a little earlier. I think we usually go a little earlier, like 5 or 6 for dinner, and it wasn't that busy. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and if you're doing the P plan, you can also check your swipes online just to make sure that you are not running out of swipes, or that maybe you're wasting swipes, so you might as well just start spending them earlier. I think there's also another option near the end of the school quarter where you're able to donate your swipes as well to other people who don't have as much food. So that's really good. And another thing as well is if you don't want to check online, you can just when you go into the dining hall and have it swiped, you can just ask the person at the counter and be like, oh, how many swipes do I have left? And then they'll tell you. So yeah,
during finals people keep like trying to use their swipes away, so they usually put like a swipe limit. I think like 4 swipes per something or something, but it gets really like busy during finals. I think because people keep trying to use their swipes before they're like gone for the quarter. They don't renew, to my knowledge, right?
No,
they don't renew, so like people are trying to like get the most out of it, and it ends up like taking longer. Like I remember like we would spend like hours in line like for finals, but it was like, but we need to study like extra because it's finals, but like we're like standing in line. But yeah, so that's something to be cognizant about during finals. Yeah, there's also like several food options on campus. So the ones that we talked about were like at the dorms, and if you don't have on-campus housing, you can't really like access these ones that we talked about unless someone like swipes you in. I believe the university affiliated apartments, they used to definitely have like a meal plan option that came with it, but I'm not sure if they have it anymore. They brought it back. Like while we were there, they didn't have it, but like they might have brought it back now. So yeah, but if you can get swiped in, then you can eat the food.
Yeah,
but not. Yeah, but like on campus, we also have like a lot of food. There's like Kirchhoff, I think, for like coffee, like if you want coffee.
There's Blaze Pizza in South Campus. Subway,
stuff
sort of
like
like a Yoshinori.
Oh yes, I think so. Like they're kind of like clustered, and there's also a and there's like a Jamba Juice there. And there's also like Rubio, like a bunch of other food. Like so you are probably not at a loss of food, like
if you
on
don't
campus.
have,
And then Luval in North Campus is my favorite place to get chicken tenders and fries, like up in North Campus.
Just so you know.
I used to walk up there for that.
Oh, really?
Like, because I don't go to North Campus, but I used to like walk up there to eat their chicken tenders.
That's so funny. Next category, we're gonna be talking about what classes are like in UCLA and what we wish we knew. Would you like to start again?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, it's important to remember that, you know, going to a very large public school, there's going to be like certain challenges that come with like that. So like oftentimes we're kind of like a little bit battling for like our classes and stuff, and for that reason UCLA has a first pass second pass system in which you can enroll for like approximately half of your classes during first pass. Everyone does their first pass before second pass starts to make it like fair, right? If you were able to get all your classes, then it wouldn't be fair because there wouldn't be anything left. And the way that that's decided is based on like how many units you have and your like designation. So like if you have like, I don't know, like 0 to 34 units, something like that, then you're like a freshman.
The chart up here.
Yeah, okay.
Chart.
Depending on what like standing you have, depends on what group you go. So the higher standing, the more earlier that you're gonna get. And you don't have to be like, you can have a different designation than your actual like grade level if you have like extra units either from like community college, from like other college classes you took before, anything like that, but not AP. That doesn't count towards your total.
Yes. And also another thing that I did, or I helped other people did, was hold classes for them. Especially when I was a senior and had extra spots. I think there's some lower class people who hit me up and were like, hey, can you help me hold this spot? And I said yes for $100. No, I'm kidding. I did it for free. I did it for free. But I think, you can ask upperclassmen to hold spots for you if you have some friends who are, or also other Regent Scholar friends who tend to have earlier class spots, enrollment spots. And I think another thing was that some people in Reddit go up and be like, hey, I have an extra spot, I'll, sell it for whoever wants it, and then you can try to, grab that if you're very desperate to have a certain class. Or I think another thing was that you had experience doing PTE stuff.
Oh yeah, so I'm from the College of Letters and Sciences. UCLA has I think 12 different colleges, but I was a biochem major, so that was my college. Sometimes the professor, if the class is full, you can email them, get a PTE, and then it'll still let you enroll in the course if they're really nice. Not always, but it doesn't hurt to ask if you really need a class. I feel like in terms of deciding first pass, second pass, for me, I personally always usually prioritized classes I thought that were going to get full, or classes that were in a series, because if I miss it this quarter, I have to wait and I can't do the rest of the classes in the series. So that's kind of how I decided which classes I would go for first pass, and then which ones could be left for later.
Yeah, and I think if you're really extra, because it was kind of what I did, because a counselor helped me, was that he kind of wrote up a little like spreadsheet and be like, oh, in my first year you have to take these classes, second year these classes, in order to get what I wanted, and in order to graduate on time. So I think, you know, using a spreadsheet to sort of help track you will help you know what classes you need to sign up for.
And UCLA also has like sample schedules for each major.
Yes.
So that could be really helpful in like crafting your schedule.
Yes.
At the beginning of your orientation, you also meet with like a student advisor who will like kind of help you like decide what you want to take in your first quarter, kind of stuff like that. So you can like definitely like plan it out further, and like see what you want if you're decided on like a major or like a track.
Another thing that helps you decide what kind of classes you want, because sometimes, you know, for the lower division classes, they have different professors of the same class. So, you know, you tend to want the class that works best for your schedule, but also probably what I would recommend more is a class with the professor that you'd like, especially since the professor would get higher ratings. And one thing to check that out is in Bruin Walk. And there's also another extension, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I think there's like an extension where you can get their Bruin Walk rating next to like on your My UCLA page. Like you can just see like their overall rating and stuff. They also have ratings like specific to the course that you're taking on Bruin Walk, so you can kind of scope out the sitch, read student reviews, like see the class distribution of the grades, everything like that. That's definitely very informative when you're trying to decide, because you have to spend like 11 weeks with this professor.
Yes.
And grades are forever, so we don't want to be taking risks. You know, every college has counseling services available if you want to talk about your schedule. It's really also important to consider that everyone will have university-wide requirements, college requirements specific to the college that you're in, and then major requirements. So like you have to fulfill all of them, not just like the classes in your major. So watch out for that, because you have to like make time for those as well. I think the orientation people will explain it.
Yes,
than us.
You'll experience it. You'll find out. But definitely make sure that you read up and you know what you're doing.
Something that I want to plug, being from the College of Letters and Sciences, she's from engineering, but we have this thing called Honors College Program, or no, College Honors Program. If you qualify for it and like do it, it's basically like you have to take a certain number of like honors classes that are lower div, upper div, certain number of units, but it could be whatever class you want as long as it has honors curriculum, and there's a filter for that in the like catalog, so you'll know which ones. But another advantage of that is that you get your own set of counselors within the college, and I found that they're like typically much more helpful than like the regular ones. Like I've gotten like many like to like pull strings for me, like with the PTE, as I've mentioned. They're generally like really knowledgeable, and you get to know them more personally because there's less of them and there's less college honors students. So if that's something you're interested in and you're joining the College of Letters and Sciences, then that could be something to consider as well.
Yes. Yeah, and I think another tip that I wanted to give is that there's a Bruin test bank out there. I'll put the link down below.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think that helped me, especially with like lower division classes, that if you need help with a class, especially when it comes to finding resources, the Bruin test bank can help a lot. All right, next category would be campus life. So what we'd like to talk about is clubs, especially since I think in the first week of UCLA there's this thing called the EAF, which is the Enormous Activity Fair, and they have tons of clubs. So make sure to wear shoes that you're comfortable walking in, because you're gonna be walking around these like rows, and also wear deodorant, because there's a lot of you're stuck with like a big crowd of college students, and sometimes a lot of people might not smell really nice, especially since it's the beginning of the year and it's really hot and everyone's like really sweaty. So there's that.
Something that I didn't realize was that some of the clubs are very competitive. Like there's like a million different clubs. Like there's probably a club for like anything you can think of, and that's really good, I think, for like finding your crowd and everything. But a lot of like I'm pre-med, so like I was like in some so I was like joining like some pre-med clubs. Some of them are very competitive. They require like an application process and then a subsequent like interview process, then acceptance. Like it's like very like you can't really necessarily expect to like get into every club that you want to join, basically.
Yeah.
Because like, did you have that experience with your like? Did you have to like apply and like?
No, because the ones that for certain engineering ones, it's like, oh, anyone is welcome. But I think there's certain projects where you do have to, if you want to be a part of those projects, you have to, you know, interview and apply for those. And then some people like aren't able to get in for those. But generally, for those types of clubs, anyone can get a general membership.
There's also like, of course, other clubs that are more like recreational. Like not all of them are like this, but I was in like a ballroom club that was like a beginner's ballroom club, and that was like open to everyone, right? So I didn't have to like audition to like be in the club, but yeah. So just watch out for that. Like, don't bank on like being in a club before you actually get in, basically. Because I was like, I'm gonna be in this club, and then I like wouldn't get in, and then you know.
Okay. And the last category would be life outside of campus, and we're gonna just give you some different places that we want to go to and little tips and tricks as well
that we like.
Yes.
First thing's probably like that there's like public transportation. It's not very good, but it can get you like from point A to point B with like your tap card. That's like the easiest way if you don't have a car, probably, if you still want to go. Like we used it to like get to like malls and like Sawtell and stuff.
One thing is that recently UCLA sort of gave each student a free bus card, so you can, you know, use it as many times as you want. You don't have to pay for the fares.
Where was that when we were there?
I mean, I was there.
You were?
Yeah, I got a free one. But I think it's not really free because they're taking it out of your tuition, but make sure to use it if you're going to be using the bus transportation system as well. But I just gotta say, I'm not a big fan of the buses. I use it a lot though, especially since, you know, traffic is horrible, and then I don't have a car since it's hard to find parking and everything. But you know, one time the bus was really unreliable to me, actually twice, and I was standing at a bus stop and the bus just like decided to drive past me twice.
That happened to me too.
Yeah, see, so that can happen.
And I was like 3 miles away from home. I was like, you can't leave me here. Like, is the bus pass only for like the big blue bus?
No, it's for multiple buses.
Okay.
It's not just the big blue one.
Okay, so we do have like the big blue bus, which is like UCLA affiliated, right? So it'll go to like various UCLA spots, and then we have like the general LA public buses. Yeah, and so it's for everything.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but make sure to, you know, search up online and see where those bus lines take you as well, because it can get confusing at first.
Also, I don't know if it's just me, but I've never like ridden a bus before this. But I didn't know you had to like request the stops. Like I thought it was like stop at every stop, and then the first time I didn't even know. So for those who don't ride buses like me, because I came from like a car city, like we don't have like a bus, but like you have to request the stops like before you get to the stop.
There's a button, or you have to like pull a string down.
FYI, for those who don't know like me.
But what did you do?
I just missed it, and I just like stood there because I didn't know.
So you went like all the way down?
No. Like someone else like requested it, and then I got off at the next one, and I was like, huh? And then it was so bad.
I see.
But
you know, if you don't know what to do outside of campus, there's so many different things, especially since LA is a very diverse city, and I think these are different spots that we like, such as Santa Monica if you want the beach. I mean, I don't recommend going to the water, but if you want to, there's Santa Monica, Westfield Mall, Century City, the Grove, Sawtell, K-Town, Little Tokyo.
Oh, next to Santa Monica, like 3rd Street Promenade for like shopping.
Yes.
If you want to go out a little more, the Grove, right? Like, but we just like shopping, I think. Like all of this is just shopping and food. And there's a lot of like brunch. Like I like brunch a lot. Like you could kind of go around. And Westwood, obviously.
Yeah. If you don't want to take the bus, just take a scooter down to Westwood or something. So anyways, that's it. So those are the many very different things that we want to share to you about UCLA. We hope you enjoyed and learned a lot. Feel free to comment down if there are any other questions that you have.